Welcome to the Power of Hospitality podcast, where we discover the world of refined luxury and impeccable service. I'm your host, Jupiter Humphrey-Bishop, and in each episode, we explore the artistry of luxury hospitality, and we interview some of the most inspirational and influential professionals in the industry. I'm thrilled to welcome today's guest to the show, Nicolas Medicamento, a true inspiration and voice for the industry. With exceptional career built on creating awareness within the hospitality industry and known for pushing the boundaries in mindset and growth as a hospitality trainer and public speaker, Nicolas, an expert in business growth and team performance, part-time competition judge, and founder of Dr. Cocktail, is here today to share his journey and passion for the hospitality industry. So, Nicolas, tell us about your journey. How did your journey begin?
Beautiful question. And thank you for the compliment. Let's say that the journey. I always say my journey started when I was really, really little, because my father was a pizza chef. So I have memory of myself when I was little that I was running in the pizzeria, and for me, hospitality is a feeling. It's smelling. Is a sensation that we have, and so that's where I started. So it was a family business, and I have a picture of myself that I was dressed up like a pizza chef, and I was just about 3 years old, and it was a beautiful, beautiful memory. Every time I look at that picture, I don't remember the things, of course, but attach memory to it, and then after that, I worked with my dad officially started to work when I was 14 with him, even if I was always there. But I worked with my dad for, let's say, 8 to 7 years as a pizza chef. Then I decided to move on the floor because I love serving people. I love cooking, but I love more serving guests. Yeah. And then I moved on the floor, and I was blessed enough to work in very, very different environment, from the pizzeria to the pub, to Michelin star places. And then after that, my ambition back in the days was, I want to become a food and beverage manager, or an operation manager, how we call it now. And so in my mind, I thought, okay, to be that kind of person, what I need to be or to learn. And I did a little bit of chef experiences simply because I want to understand what is it being a chef, what is it about the feelings and how you work around, why there is this imaginary wall between chef and waiters. I never understood that, but I said, I wanted to understand a little bit more, and then I ended up to work in a bar industry, because it was for me, for the food and beverage was a missing piece. And after a very short course, let's say, in Italy, my bar career was quite fast enough, to be honest, to literally I worked in very short period of times from kind of simple hotels to very renowned hotels before to move in England. And the beauty of the career of the bar was the fact that before to move in the Savoy, that I used to work in the Savoy, was my first experience in London. I used to work in a very renowned hotel, in a resort that's very famous in the world, in Puglia. It's called Borgo Ignazia. Wow. So that let me touch my soul and say, okay, this is way more to do here. And then that's in a short was my background. So I did Savoy, and then when I opened my business, Dr. Cocktail, I had the pleasure to work in the Dorchester. I worked in the Connaught for a little bit. And then now I've literally had clients or friends, let's say, that I have the pleasure to serve. And this in a short, let's say, that's what happened in my last few years.
Wow, incredible. And during any part of that, was there any opportunities or perhaps any things that came up in your industry or your career where you thought, that was unexpected, and perhaps it turned into an opportunity?
Oh, yes, indeed. Like many things happen, and these things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I have to say that if I think about something that, let's say, is quite recent, simply because it's connected to what I'm doing now, is the fact that I didn't want, when I was in the Savoy, one of my first literally meeting with my former manager, I told him with my very low English level, I told him I'm not interested to be a bartender, literally stay 5 days a week behind the bar. I want to stay on the floor too. So whatever is going to be my time in, like, I just want to go and serve people. And then I actually want to be a manager. I don't want to stay behind the bar. Because I always had in the back of my mind that I want to help people to grow. That's what I do. Declan, that was my former manager, is an incredible inspiration for me. And talking about unexpected things, he did something that inspired me massively. One day he went to one of the biggest events in the world for the bar industry that is called Tales of the Cocktails.
Okay.
And together with the 50 Best, they are quite iconic competition in our industry.
Yeah.
And the Tales of the Cocktail, Declan delivered a speech.
Yeah.
He is a funny guy. It's an incredible person. He has this kind of humor. And I remember this speech, it was very engaging. And I watch it and I say, I love what he's doing. And then when he came back to London, I told him, so you did great. And then he said the word, well, I practice public speaking.
Ah.
I said, oh, this is interesting. Tell me more. And long story short, I think a few months after, I joined a public speaking club.
Fantastic. Well, I was actually having a look at your LinkedIn profile, and I saw that you were part of the Toastmasters.
Yes.
Now, this is something to do with training public speaking. Perhaps you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Toastmasters is one of the, if not the largest organization in the world that help you to train the skills as public speaking. Doesn't have to be a professional speaker, but the point is making sure that you get comfortable to speak in front of people. It doesn't matter your situation. So when I joined Toastmasters, I joined for two reasons. The first one is that I'm obsessed to make people happy. I'm obsessed in communication. I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, moving, how I speak, my tone of variety, whatever it is, if I'm speaking too fast or too slow, I want to make sure that people in front of me, they are feeling at ease and comfortable in my presence. And the second reason was because, but of course I don't tell that anymore, was because I wanted to win a competition. Like I wanted to go and win because I represent this really iconic bar. Like the American bar, the Savoy, the 3 years that we worked in, the 3 years that I was in, the team, we were very blessed and lucky. And even, we took whatever was good. We did everything. We won everything possible. And then I said, if I go to competition, I need to keep the standard high, Why? Don't you dare to lose. So that was the reason. And I remember that I was watching constantly video former competitors, how they move, what they do, how they behave, which style of cocktail, how they are touching the glass, like every single details. And then I realized that it wasn't about that. I just realized that I really love this kind of topic. It's a really fascinating topic when it comes to not just communicating, but listening to people. So that was very inspiring for me. And Toastmaster helped me a lot to start that.
Because you did recently win an award.
Well, the award that I won recently was the most unexpected things in my life.
Okay.
That I won a Hospitality Ambassador of the Year.
That's incredible.
Yes, I know. I still need to understand what happened. But that things, I think, led to the fact of I decided to give to this charity that is called the Drinks Trust my time unconditionally. And also with my business, I give 10% to the Drink Trust every time I have an invoice in. And the reason is because they helped me massively back in the days when I was really struggling. And I said, I've been helped despite I was very, very reluctant in asking for help. I asked for help come, and then it's time for me to help the charity. So how can I help them? Is just using my skills.
Yeah.
So what happened is that, let's say that now I'm a little bit more established in a certain extent as a speaker in our industry, and not just in our industry, but that evening I was there just to give. I said, just don't need to pay me. I just wanna be there and support your event. And I was supposed to be the story of the evening, something like that. I don't remember what was the headline, but they told me, Nicolas, just so you know, you are going after the awards. So when you see the last awards, after is your turn. Okay, fantastic. So what I did, I prepare myself, I clip my microphone because I record myself every time I do some stage or seminar that I do, present, and I was going on stage, and then I was already in my zone, like I was focused. I wasn't even listening much, but then they said, okay, Ambassador of the Year, and they put 3 names on it, and my attention, I get off my zone mode because they mentioned my name. And then my friend that was already recording, I told him, what's going on, what is it? And then they say, Ambassador of the Year, Hospitality Ambassador 2024 is Nicolas Medicamento. And I said, what? And then I have to jump on stage. I said, I was ready to go to speak. So I have to go on stage. I have to shake hands, give a hug, take a picture, jump off the stage quickly, just hand over the prize and just jump again, because okay, the next speaker of the evening, you already met him. Oh my God, just give me time to celebrate at least. But that was. I have to say that Toastmaster led me to that.
That's incredible.
That's where I
started. That is amazing. But how do you prepare yourself for, you're going to do public speaking? How do you ensure that you're always giving your best? Is there something that you perhaps have in your daily routine or your morning routine that ensures that you're always giving your best?
I love the question. Okay. I have to divide the answer into the routine that I have, or whatever I do in my daily life is not just for that, but first of all, to have my small wins. When you have small wins in life, you have boost of confidence.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how it works. And in fact, sometimes when I don't do something, I feel it. I feel terrible. Because, oh my God, I'm not doing this. But I'm starting to have a little bit more relaxed. I started to become a little bit more relaxed about it, simply because, I decided that I cannot be perfect, but I want to be consistent. And the preparation when I go on stage, before to go on stage or before to host a seminar, I think preparation is key. The preparation Definitely. Before that,
of course.
I can say it there. I'm preparing. I am preparing for. I'm literally started to do to prepare for the next levels of seminars that I want to share in the industry. Incredible. And I'm writing down everything. While I'm writing down, I'm visualizing what's gonna happen, what the guest or the audience needs to do. Every step is detailed, and that is it gives me peace in a certain sense. Now, this not means that I will not accept any surprises. However, I know what my chief aim. I know what's the direction that I want, where I want to be in the end. And I always think the first things that I always have in mind is start with the end in mind. Literally, what's my final goal? What I want them to learn or to take away from me this day. Because it's never about me. It's about them. It's a speaker or a person that does seminar or hosts this in general is about giving value to an audience that is watching, is listening in this case. I want to make sure that if you feel something that inspires you, I'm happy. If you are coming to one of the seminar or one of the training I provide, if you come out with some learning that you can apply not just to the career but in your life, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's the goal. It's not because I'm just sharing what I discovered. I didn't create nothing. I just discovered something. Oh wow, that's cool. Let me try to rephrase and make it for our industry that I love. That's it.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
So you're taking that inspiration and, sharing that. And I think the hospitality industry is all about sharing inspiration. So was there anyone perhaps particular that, looking back over your career over the last few years, has stood out in particular, who's really inspired you, perhaps a certain role model that's really been there for you to inspire you and to build this excitement and energy along the way?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So I have to say that I had role model based on my growth of my. The answer is mostly based on my sense of awareness, because when I was back in Italy, I met a maître d' that he was outstanding as human being, outstanding as person, great work ethic. He was. He knew how to communicate with every kind of personality.
Yeah.
Him and his best friend, like, they were always together. Like, wherever they were calling you for any kind of shift or service, any big events, like, it doesn't matter if it's 20 or 800, 900 people event, they were literally incredible with every one of us. And I think from, they are called Franco and Nicola. I think from them, I learned to be kind. I learned resilience, and I learned to be kind, because the reality is that my takeaway from there, because I was already working in big luxury environment there with them, they said, look, luxury does not mean you need to always be dressed up to look impeccable. You need to also be willing to do what the others they don't want to do. So remove the jacket, just go and work with your teammates. So, and they were incredible teachers for me. I mentioned Declan in the Savoy in the American bar, that I'm very blessed to have him in my life anyway. I literally was with him recently. So definitely a great person that when it comes to management point of view, Declan was great person. And the same period of Declan, even Eric Loring, former head bartender of the American bar. It's, Eric, another person that when I saw him, I thought, this guy is very famous, he's renowned. If you see him, he's a big personality. And despite that, he was so humble. I think he is humble. That's the reality. He is, despite what he does. I think majority, they have all in common when I think about the people that I kind of look at. They have humility. They know how to sell themselves. They know their worth, but they're also willing to step back when it's necessary, because for a better situation, for a better future. So these are things so far that the people that mostly inspire me. But if you tell me people that now are inspiring me, unfortunately, not much in the hospitality. If I think about people that I met, that I work with, if I have to think about people that I cross path, you are one of them. You are absolutely incredible. And I told you, and I told you already, and I think you deserve to receive that.
Thank you.
It is very great to see people like yourself that they are committed to help the industry. I have a couple of people that I really love following, because they teach me every topic regarding not just hospitality, because hospitality for me is an essence, is a way of being, is a way of life. And these people, they talk about concepts that are connected to what we do. So we talk about life, we talk about spirituality, we talk about energy management, how your way of thinking, all of these things. And these, I'm very lucky to have them in my life, but they are not in the industry. One of them actually was speaking with him yesterday or 2 days ago. Anyway, kind of recently, because I'm working on a project. That's what I was saying. That's the news I told you. Can I say it or not? But
that sounds exciting.
Yes, I know. And this man is called Jason James.
Okay.
An incredible speaker. This is one of the reasons I approached him some time ago, because one rule that the other mentors always says is called Kevin Trudeau. He always says, follow people that have what you want and they've been where you were. And Jason has an incredible communication skills. He's an incredibly successful entrepreneur, like multimillionaire, incredible. And he won 8 times best speaker in the world.
Okay.
He won recently as an accolade about training things. And I said, this guy, I freaking love him. Tell me more. And, these are the kind of personality I try to surround myself. I want to make sure that I personally grow.
Absolutely.
Because I can help around.
And as you've been through all of this, if you were to tell your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be? Or perhaps to anybody listening today, one piece of advice, the younger Nicolas, what have you learned from all of these inspirational people?
I'd say to the young Nicola, to the younger one, or even to whoever is younger in general as a generation, when you feel the fear, just do it anyway.
I love that.
Yeah, well, that's what I repeat myself every single day, but I would love to have started earlier.
Yeah. But look how far you've come. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. It's yes, I know. However, the environment we are in makes everything.
That's true.
Our first environment is the family.
Yeah.
So hence why, as much as I love my family, of course, we were brought up with a lot of fears or doubts or uncertainties. And that was, of course, my first circle of influence. So if I would have had someone around that would be a little bit more brave in a certain sense, to take more action for a better future, I would do that most likely earlier.
Yeah. So Nicolas, you've recently, well, not recently, but you've started, the Dr. Cocktail. So you're the founder of Dr. Cocktail.
Yeah.
So, this is incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us where the inspiration from this came from and why the name Dr. Cocktail?
That's a good. I love this. Every time this question comes in, I love it. Okay, I start with the name. The name, if you see my last name in English, you can call it Medicamento.
Yes.
So basically, medicamento in Spanish and Italian means medicine. So it's everything related to medicine. And that's the funny story of my family life. Like when I was growing up, the children or the teenagers were always having fun with my last name. Do you want it? Blah blah blah. These things like that. You are the doctor. These things. Actually, mento is the chin. They say, do you want to cure my chin? This joke like that. And everything happened quite fast when I opened Dr. Cocktail because I was made redundant from the Savoy. So during that period, they announced, I remember very well the period was July 2020. We've been through a second process of interview if you want to stay in, if you are selected, etc. And then they announced in July that I was not going to be in the Savoy anymore. And my partner, she told me, you are doing so many things during the furlough, like you're doing this live on Instagram, brands are interested to working with you. Why don't you try to go for yourself? Just do it. And she said, if you ever need to come back, your CV is quite strong enough to go and work wherever you want. So we were at a lunch or dinner, I don't remember, was one of the periods you can go out, you don't go out. Just, that period you don't know what to do, but you can hang out with the bubble, this bubble. So the only bubble we had was a cousin that we have close by. So we were having lunch and he said to me, because my girlfriend cousin, they are Colombians, so they speak Spanish. And Joe is British. So me and him, we are not the Spanish one speaker. However, we understand the Spanish word. So he said, well, you make cocktails. And the family of your girlfriend always says that you are her medicine. So you're Dr. Cocktail. Me and my partner, we look each other and say, I need to go and register the name straight away. Long story short, in a month's time, I registered the name. And I opened the business in September 2020. Yes, we are going into almost 5 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And alongside this, I mean, you do so much incredible work for the industry.
Thank you.
We've worked together with the Nestlé Professional Talk Door.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
Judging the competition, that was so exciting. And we met through the Institute of Hospitality.
Yeah.
So we've been through quite a lot through the hospitality industry. So, and this is a quick question, but it always makes me smile. Is there, perhaps you could have just 3 people come into your cocktail bar in the entire world throughout history? Who would have those 3 people been?
Napoleon Hill, very famous person that, became famous. He's renowned for the book Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. Oh, yes, I have heard of this book.
Outstanding book, Think and Grow Rich. Simply because Napoleon Hill, like many others people that are in this kind of field of industry, in education or self-development or whatever you call it, self-help, whatever it is, he describes some principle to be successful in life. And I would love to have a chat with him. Like, tell me more. Like, I want to pick your brain. That would be really exciting.
It looks like there's, so many inspirational people around you. So how do you, going back to where you work now, so you work at Club Soda.
Yes, that's one of the business I managed, yes.
So how do you come up with the inspiration from creating these cocktails as Dr. Cocktail? Mm-hmm. Where does that inspiration come from flavors to aromas to different colors? How does that all come together? Because I recently attended one of your cocktail workshops, which I must say was absolutely incredible. So
thank you.
Congratulations. So where does the inspiration come from, and how do you create that menu for a drink?
I like this question. Well, the menu, it's how I see it, the menu is a sensorial experience. You need to engage with tactile sensation, first of all. So when you touch a glass, what's the feeling that you have when you touch a glass? Then, of course, when you look at it, okay, wow, that's cool, that's beautiful, it's really elegant, or it's really... you can see the tropical cups, you can see all of these funny things. And then when actually still looking at it, what's the garnish on it? Is it really minimalistic, it's really nice, elegant, or is, again, tiki, so tropical? So you have all of these flower fires on it, what's on there. And that's the first things, for example, to think about it. And then when it comes to if you have a glass, of course, that you can see through the color of the cocktail, colors are very powerful things. So what I like to do is giving different color varieties if I can, as long as they are natural. I don't use artificial coloring, etc. I prefer to extract the red color from raspberry extract, but I want to do it more than buy something.
Yes.
There is a lot of work behind, and we in the bar industry, we steal many techniques from the chefs. I mean, like chefs, of course, cuisine, they're way advanced comparing with us. We just have one technique in our industry that, let's say, we have just one technique that, let's say, is called, is a freezing technique that is a kind of, I don't remember now the name off the top of my head, but it's only for us because bartender cook with ice, chefs cook with fire.
Yes.
So we need to think about what can we do with ice or everything in the cold temperature. And yes, when you look at it, when it comes to flavors, I want to make sure, and this actually I took it from a chef that a long time ago was doing a consultancy. I presented him the menu and he told me, okay, let's try the cocktail. And he told me, I don't taste this one. I don't taste this flavor. I don't taste this one. I said, just remember, if you place on a menu a certain flavor, I want to make sure that I can taste it.
Yes.
And then made me think about it. Okay, each one of us has a different palate, has a different background. So maybe you are a little bit more keen to have cinnamon. I'm not. So because you love it, you might be having always cinnamon. So you need a big, high quantity of cinnamon. Whilst me, I can spot it straight away because I don't like it. So how can I find the balance between who loves something and who hates something in taste? And the answer was to communicate it.
Okay.
To say it. This means that in the menu experience, together with the flavor development, that there are different layers that also include the length. So how long it stays with me, even if I spray something on an essential oil on the glass, when I touch the glass, when I touch my nose, do I smell the lemon, for example, do I smell the orange? So this is a full sensory experience. But if I want to make sure that you actually experience something with your palate, because the reality is that not everyone is a sommelier, not everyone is really advanced in terms of recognizing flavors. So every time we serve a cocktail, it doesn't matter where. I took this in every kind of environment I worked in. We introduce the cocktail because that's a part of the experience. And so to answer in short to your question is the length, the flavors. How can I? And then also I communicate them out what they look like. Does inspire you a cocktail you've seen before? Because in alcohol-free is very different than alcohol when you do alcoholic cocktail. So I want to make sure that if you look at the glass, you can see that it's a spritz cocktail.
Yes.
Maybe it's not, but you can actually understand what is it. So that's that. It's a full experience. Like I want to make sure that you have a great time without knowing.
Definitely, because I recently visited your bar at Club Soda, and I did have a cocktail, and it was fantastic. But it was alcohol-free.
Yes.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
And it tasted, just like alcohol. So, where do you, obviously you've got this huge range of incredible alcohol-free spirits and all different things. Is that easy to source in, or where do they come from?
I have to say that working in this place, it's easier than working in the in a full alcohol bar. The reason is because being the specialized in the sector means that the alcohol-free brands, they want to work with us.
Yes.
So this means that we have the luxury to choose to who we want to work with and selecting the best option for the guest. Now, when it comes to alcohol-free, we are lacking of body and mouthfeel because alcohol gives that too. So when people come to me and say, I love the alcohol sensation, I say, what do you mean? I love the taste of alcohol. Alcohol doesn't taste of anything. That's the reality. Have you literally tried to drink a glass of full alcohol? Have you tried it? And that's what actually made me think about this, why it's really important that we do education for our guests. And so the only things that we are actually lacking in the alcohol-free is the body. However, what is happening is that add a pinch of pepper somewhere, add some chili somewhere, or some product they already have these in there to give length. The length is actually, how long it stays in my palate, or how much I can feel it. So if I can make sure that I can deliver that experience without thinking about it, this flavor is missing, that's what I want. I can give a guest blindly a cocktail and ask them what they think about it, they will love it.
Yeah.
But they will not think about it that is alcohol-free. And that was my goal. In fact, we launched the new menu some time ago, and we have the winter menu is on, and we are making cocktails that are warm cocktails, so hot cocktails.
Perfect for winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So it's about, we can do almost everything in alcohol-free because we have the capability to do so. And I want to make sure that whoever can come through the door can be just inspired by it and to go to the next level and be more interested in growing personally, more than thinking about that's the only drink I can have or I can do.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, it sounds so inspiring. And I definitely think that the hospitality industry, whether you're coming for, a whole week staying in a hotel or even just for a glass of a cocktail, it's about that magic behind the hospitality, and it's truly inspiring. I think it's incredible that the industry has this amazing ability and potential to be able to transform a guest's day into, uplift it. You come away feeling inspired. I think that's so incredible when the guests leave your restaurant or bar at the end of the day. They've got great big smiles on their face and you're like, okay, I've done a really good job today.
Yeah, that's the most beautiful sensation. Like psychologically, it's proven that when you make someone smile or that this person is feeling better or good because of you, is an instant gratification that not even the social media can literally cope.
It's that human connection.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to ask you one final question.
Yes.
Where does Nicolas see himself in 10 or 20 years' time?
Oh. Well,
or even 5 years.
This is going to let people feel the pressure now because I'm going for it. I'm building the biggest and the most important in terms of values academy in the hospitality.
That's incredible.
That's it. I will be the best simply because people will love to work in our industry, and I want to empower people to work, starting that you are generally interested to make people happy. And that's the academy for literally nurturing great human beings for our industry.
That's amazing.
That's what's happening.
That's incredible. I think it's so wonderful to see young, inspirational people like you taking that initiative to go out there and inspire the whole world to join the industry, because there's so much incredible stuff about the industry, and it's just down to us to share that with everyone.
Yes. So. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much
me.
for being here today. It's been absolutely wonderful to get to know you more and for you to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So that brings us to the end of today's episode on the Power of Hospitality podcast. Stay with us for next episodes where we continue to interview some of the most inspirational industry professionals. See you soon. So guys, that brings us to the end of this hospitality podcast series. A series that dived into the world of luxury hospitality. I hope you guys really enjoyed listening to it over the last few weeks, and hopefully it's given you inspiration to explore the industry further. It's been a real pleasure to interview Michael Peluso, Giorgio Bargiani, Lydia Kenny, Arnold Ayasa, Nicolas Medicamento, and Sarah Dandashi to hear their journeys in the hospitality industry. It's been wonderful to record this in the studio over the last few months, and I hope to see you all again very soon for my very next project. See you then.